Hi, I'm Joe.
And I'm Digna.
Welcome to Relationships.
We're a couple having a few.
Good evening.
Hello.
As you can tell, someone's excited to be here, and we've got a couple extra someones here. Like always, like you just heard on our little intro, I'm Joe.
And I'm Digna.
And we've got my mother-in-law, Nancy, here.
Howdy do.
And my father-in-law, Daryl.
Hello.
There you go. Apparently he's like the neighbor from Home Improvement. Heyo!
Hello.
So we've got them on
Pleasure
tonight.
to be here.
Yeah, sure. We have all sorts of guests, just like Larry
We're
King.
famous.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're here. Today is, well, I guess by the time this episode is released, your first anniversary will have passed. As of right now, you still are just a couple of days shy of your first anniversary.
Correct.
You whippersnappers in your 1 year of marriage. So we'll ask all sorts of cool newlywed things, how you met, all that kind of stuff. So I guess we'll start with that one. So, how'd you meet?
Well, what had happened was on a Monday, I happened to take off of work, which I never do.
Playing hooky.
And my mother and I were walking for exercise, and she said to me, "There's this man who walks around who is in great shape. Just you wait and see."
Was.
And
Just you wait and see what kind of shape we'll make him in.
and then all of a sudden, we're walking one way and he's coming the other way. And there he was. And she goes, "There he is." And I went,
Okay.
Hi.
And then once she passed, I turned around and I go, "Yep, that's mine."
And then he finally released that fart he was holding in the whole time. She walked by like, oh, thank God.
Kids.
So then that afternoon, I said, well, I never get to go to the pool at 1 p.m. Let me go to the pool. Met a couple of women who were drinking beer, and I was like, oh, no, they're not.
Because the homeowners association says, no, you're not allowed.
So I ignored it, and I sat with them, and she said, would you like one? I said, no, I'm part of the homeowners association, so thank you, no.
She said, citizens arrest.
And all of a sudden, he walks in again. And the other lady was like, I'm going to let my float
I was stalking
hit
you.
him. And I said,
Oh, yeah. I remember you telling me that they were, into him.
oh, yeah, Patty. And she's like, I'm just going to let that float hit him and let's see what happens. And I said, I got to go. So I left and I said, I stopped by him. I said, hi, I met you this morning, but I didn't meet you. I'm Nancy. And he said, he's Daryl. And nice to meet you. Take care. And that was that.
Keep in mind, this is 3 years ago.
Yeah.
That's
Time
how
flies.
Did you get that float for them?
Was that
I
the day that
did.
were we at the pool at that time, or was
No.
that a different time?
That was a Monday. You did not live there then.
We didn't live there yet.
okay.
Oh.
So that was 3.5 years ago. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys may hear some rain. We are now. We'll let you know on location at their new residence. So if you hear the rain, unless it gets Titanic, we'll just push forward.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, I know you all listened to the Neighbors No More episode.
Yes.
Is it called Neighbors No More? These are the neighbors.
No more.
No more.
But let's go ahead. We'll skip forward a little bit because I'm getting a little bit thirsty.
Yeah.
And
About time, Joe.
yeah, so we'll
I
just
know, he always goes on forever at the beginning.
we'll just skip forward to. So you guys got married. Where'd you guys get married?
Hell and blazes!
Yeah, there.
Funny, you should say that because we have...
Helen Blazes beer right in front of us to commemorate their first anniversary.
Yeah.
So what we've got here is we've got the Sap Tap, which is made with maple syrup,
Yummy.
and it's sitting at 6.3% ABV. And we've got Oktoberfest, which is one of my all-time favorites, sitting at about 6%. So I talked to the brewer the other day. I was like, when's it coming out? Because I just saw the Sam Adams one, even though it was like the first week of August. for the Oktoberfest. But I was like, when's yours coming out? And he's like, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's going to be like after the 1st of September. So it felt like an eternity. But
3 whole weeks
so
later.
I've already had some Oktoberfest. So I'm going to try the Sap Tap. And
I got that.
yeah. Cheers.
Too.
Cheers.
Happy anniversary!
Thank you. Yeah. I like that Sap Tap.
That I could
Switch.
definitely put that on pancakes.
Here you go. Right?
That's good. That's good.
I like Oktoberfest.
I like them both.
Yeah.
They complement each other.
Yes.
Oh, the Sap Tap, you can taste the syrup in that thing.
Yes.
Wow,
Syrup.
That's some scissor.
that is good.
Man.
So now that
Awesome.
we've wet our whistles, we will skip back in time. So you guys, you dated.
For about 2.5 years? Maybe?
By the time we got married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we decided, why not? Let's do it.
Just do it. So I know this
Quick
is actually a good
planning.
story. So it wasn't a shotgun wedding. You guys don't have to worry about that. First date. So I know you met at the pool, but what?
Yeah.
How? Let's hear about
Oh
this
my
first
God.
date.
Oh, this one's a fun story.
We went to Matt's Casbah.
Yeah.
Rock the Casbah.
And I was heading up a trip up to New York for business, and so we went out. And,
We did all of downtown Melbourne.
oh my God!
We stopped in every
Including
location.
Hell in Blazes.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
it was wonderful. It was a great time.
Yeah.
We were responsible, of course.
Of course.
Were we responsible the next morning, Mom?
Gee,
They were responsible
I-
in trying all the things downtown Melbourne had to
I-
offer.
I was
As a
going to
responsible
die.
person would do.
Citizen, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, I couldn't even see straight the next day. And so I was supposed to go do Zumba, which I used to do a whole lot, and I could not even keep my head up. So I went home. He went to Zumba looking for me, and then found me at home. And I opened the door, and he's standing by his big old car with his big old flowers, and I want to just big old barf. I was like, oh, thank you. Basically. So that was our first date. It was so much
And I
fun.
had a long ride in New York from there.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
How many hours of a drive is that?
It took me 18.
Yeah.
Oof. I mean,
I
18.
On a
slept
hangover.
for 4 hours at a restaurant.
doesn't
and I
have
kept
hangovers.
going.
But I was gonna say 18. We've done. We did the Texas to here, which
Wasn't
is
that like
give or
18?
take a little bit, but it was both of us doing it. I mean, we had the dogs with us, so maybe that made it a little bit not as great, but still, it was still two of us.
Well,
not-
yeah, when
that
they
was
locked
still
us
rough.
out of the car, you mean?
Oh yeah, that was. That's
But yes,
that's another story.
18 to 20 hours even with another driver.
Oof.
It's still
I
tough.
felt
That's
crazy
long.
when I would get
Oh my
here.
gosh.
So I don't know how you did that. alone.
So what is, since we're talking about long distances driving, what's your, I guess we'll start with Daryl. What's your longest, obviously you shouldn't drive more than 8 hours because you're being irresponsible, etc. But what's your longest nonstop driving
Not
that
just
you've
my
done?
When I was moving down from New York, I have all my stuff in my car. I went straight through.
Ugh.
Straight
So that
through.
was 18-ish
It
hours
was,
then.
yeah, it was raining through North Carolina and South Carolina. Cats and dogs. My wiper was broken. I couldn't see. I had the worst headache ever. I finally
wonder
made
why.
it to Florida,
Straining
and I
for
ended
18
up
hours.
sleeping at the Circle K off of Malabar Road.
In your car.
Yeah, because my tenant wasn't moving out till that morning.
Oh, jeez.
So I had to wait. So
Good thing
I'm
the
like,
car was
Oh
big.
my gosh, that's.
I was snoring.
What about you, Ma? Your
was
your
worse.
longest.
My longest one was coming from a funeral in New York City with the kids, and they were little, young, and it was Mom and my sister and the 3 kids. And I think I must have driven for a good 12 hours, and everyone was asleep. And finally, I could not see straight anymore. And somebody took the drive
That's
because
when you just jerk the wheel and go, oh no, I don't know what happened. And everyone freaks out.
yeah, and that was it was a good 12 hours. I think that was the most straight. Ugh.
That's a scary thing.
What about you there, Diggs?
Whatever trip we would have taken together. I don't know that I mean, you've driven a long one on your own.
That's
I never drove by
what's
myself.
What about going like before we deployed? Like, didn't you have to
To Colorado
bring?
or something?
Didn't you have to bring stuff to? Where was that? Maryland or something like that?
Yeah, but you drove with me.
Oh.
Oh yeah, you spent
We
New
drove from
Year's.
St. Louis to Maryland.
Oh.
You did
Drove
New
from
Year's.
St.
Oh,
Louis
yeah.
to DC, and then it was New Year's Eve, and then you left the next morning. You flew away. No, I've never driven super far by myself. I don't ever want to.
No.
So she's
not
been.
So maybe 3 hours
Wow.
by myself.
I would say I drove. The longest that I drove was the St. Louis to DC, and that was a pretty good one. You passed through like a lot of states.
That one was like 12
because,
right?
Like you'll 14.
So the one to Georgia from St. Louis to Georgia wasn't as
No,
long.
that was only 12 hours.
But you had two dogs.
With 2 dogs. So I guess I wasn't alone technically. I had my
But
my
you drove,
backup.
Didn't you drive to DC with them too?
Yeah, I did DC there and DC back. Well, that was within a week. That was like 14 hours there, 14 hours back.
And that was for fun.
Oh, yeah.
But the good thing was I had at the time it was the Game of Thrones audiobook. So I don't think I made it through an entire book through that. Like I think that was just one book that whole trip because
Wow.
those books are like
Those are huge.
they're like 30 some odd hours a piece.
To
So
watch that show.
You should.
And I did a trip for softball. We had a national tournament. So we went from Connecticut to Cincinnati. It was 13 hours. We went straight through. It was
Yuck.
like horrible.
Yuck. But at least that was
Back
as a
was killing
team,
me.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, it was a van full.
Ugh. Oh, like the
Then we had
15
White
pack
Castle.
vans.
We stopped for White Castle.
And you all got the
Forget
shits.
it. All the windows had to come down.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it was horrible. But it was so good.
Did you win?
Damn, that White Castle. Actually,
I think they all
we
felt like
came in 12th.
they all felt like losers on that ride back.
Oh, God, it was horrible.
So you
But
got,
it was fun at the same time.
so I guess Daryl's got the longest there with the 18 hours. I mean, I will say I remember I distinctly remember just the 12-hour one. That's when Desmond was a baby and all this stuff. When we went to Savannah, that place we were renting, I just laid on the floor and I think I just passed out. It was like,
Wasn't the one from here to Texas that you met with your house being burglarized?
Yeah, but that was, I think it was about 20 hours, but it was us together.
Yeah.
I mean, that was possibly the worst, like, end to a drive.
Yeah.
But
coming home in the middle of the night and the back door had been kicked in and there's no electricity and that was
Guns drawn.
that was stupid.
good times. I don't remember which trip it was, but it was right when we bought the Scion. We had a white car. We traded in a car that didn't have cruise control. Like, no, we're gonna get a car with cruise control to make this trip. So we bought this new car, brand new car. And we hadn't even made it. We were so
It was
close.
that same trip, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know if it was the same trip or not, but it was definitely a trip like that. And we were driving from here, from Florida out to Texas, and we were right at the Alabama line almost, and we hit something in the road and got a flat.
Oh,
And it's like this was a Saturday night at like 9 o'clock at night or something like that. So we had to find a hotel room and all this kind of stuff. I had to, get it off the
janky hotel
road,
room.
and
We weren't allowed to have dogs, and that was when the dogs were young and stupid, and they would bark at every noise. It was a motel.
yeah, someone in the hotel room like next door would close it and bark, 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 bark. I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah, that was not fun.
that was not a fun one at all. So with the magic of editing, normally this would sound like it was seamless, but I don't care about that. So I'm gonna let you know that there was a huge pause, and I will have to do a lot of editing to make it look even halfway decent. So we're gonna kind of pick up where we left off. I'm gonna go through. Digna found a list of questions that I guess they're like newlywed type questions,
oh joy.
and we're gonna see what happens here for these newlyweds. And I'm gonna jump right into the deep end. What is their worst habit?
I would say my worst habit is cracking my knuckles at night. All night long.
Oh, I agree.
Thanks, honey.
Yep, I agree. I know this is going to be a tough one for you. I have so many, so you're gonna have
Well,
to choose.
keep in mind the show really can only go about a half hour, give or take. So
Choose one.
He flares his arms and he swirls like an alligator at night, and I get tossed around like I am on a kayak overloaded.
does he
You
still-
guys, just in case you didn't know, we live in Florida, so all of these metaphors are very Floridian.
does he steal the blankets, or are either one of you a blanket hog?
Well, you ever see a alligator do his roll? Well, all the blankets
Not normally in
are
a bed, so
coming up. And wake up. She's totally
Yeah.
uncovered.
She's wrapped in a fitted sheet like a mummy.
Or I get swatted.
No, that's bad.
I get kicked.
All right, let's go. So this will be one that you have to guess. What, Daryl? What is her favorite flavor of potato chips? And we'll say, well, just to make sure they're not.
Plantain.
I was getting ready to say not tortilla, not, but like actual potato chip.
Plain
Plain.
potato. Plain
That's right.
She's a plain Jane.
Plain Jane. Yeah.
Plain potato Jane.
The reason why I know that is because we just recently I went to the store. She said, "Don't get anything,
Bang.
with flavor. Just get plain."
I don't want anything that tastes good.
Just plain.
Just give me
I'm
some
like,
cardboard.
So that's why.
Give me them bland potatoes. Okay.
Salted cardboard.
So same thing. What's his favorite type of potato chip?
It probably is the jalapeno, cheesy, nacho-ish type chip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flavor.
And if he has too many of those jalapenos, he's haul up in that bathroom.
Held up big time.
Yeah, that helps my colitis. That's for sure.
Okay, I know you guys don't do karaoke, but what would be a good karaoke song? A duet. A duet.
For
A
them
duet.
Oh,
What's
it's duet.
What's a good duet song?
I would say it would be probably that Mark Anthony and that country singer who sang Lionel Richie's song.
Oh, oh my gosh.
We might have to take it.
Ooh, sing it.
Susan.
3,
B.
2,
Anthony.
1, go.
No, it's. Oh my
Sing it together.
goodness gracious.
We got all Muttley over here.
No, those are seagulls flying overhead.
Yeah. So if you got to think of one, what? Okay. While you're thinking, what would ours be?
All I can think of is my endless.
That's all I could think of too.
From that what's the hockey?
Song.
The hockey
Endless Summer.
movie that the guy who's doing the ice is
Lionel and
singing it to himself in the hockey rink. Oh my gosh.
Happy Gilmore.
Yes.
Never heard of it.
Not a hockey movie, but you know.
I would say he was a hockey player who became a golfer.
We're still trying to think of that
Is
girl's
there a
name.
Luther Vandross song that he sings with someone else?
It's My Endless Love, but it's Mark Anthony and this country
Country
star.
But is it the same song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh well, then
Send
come
us
on,
love.
same thing, same song.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
if you're
is.
singing, it doesn't matter who the original singer was.
But they just
Trying
sing
to
it so
figure out.
well. Anyway.
Gosh.
All right.
Okay.
Do over.
What is her biggest fear?
Water.
I was getting ready to say, I know there's a list like really long, just like
Water.
Again, we
bad
only have
habits
a half an hour.
one. Very limited show.
roller
Water.
coaster
Or alligators.
or alligators?
No,
either
but
one.
water. Yeah.
But bodies of water. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe water in general. So
It's Saturday. It's the night. You know.
it smells like someone's got some onions up in
Do I
here.
get a ding or what? Come on.
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah, that's definitely a ding.
What's he afraid of?
Spiders.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Man, that was a good
Now is
one.
it just
Ding,
spiders
ding,
or is
ding.
it just creepy crawly?
No, spiders.
Just
Just
what about
spiders.
scorpions?
So not
No,
potential
no.
like rodents possibly trying to break into your RV.
No,
No,
not
not a
spiders.
Speaking of which,
Spiders have to,
Speaking of
Oh, yeah,
which,
we
how'd
wanted-
that go?
So that was kind of good. We got our
Assassin
little
yesterday
fun
on the
questions,
wall.
but I did want to get back to the RV. As you know, in our previous episode that all of our dozen of listened to, the neighbors no more. They were our next door neighbors, and then they moved out of the townhouse next door to us, and now they dwell full time in a recreational vehicle. So they started off with
The Class C.
the Class C.
that we did an episode from as well.
They were staying Class C.
Yes.
And until they weren't staying Class C, and then now they've got they started from the bottom. Now they're here. So they got the fifth wheel now.
The fifth wheeling.
Yes, so they are fifth wheeling and dealing, and much more space, higher overhead, like
High ceiling.
literally. I mean, it's hard for me to even touch the
there's
ceiling.
2 bathrooms.
And 2 bedrooms.
Yeah, I mean, when you hear, oh, 2 bath, 2 bed, 2 bath, like, oh, what kind of apartment? Actually, it's an RV. Like, it's just, it's weird to hear that. I mean, and with the slide outs, it's enormous, honestly.
Oh, yeah. We're so happy.
You know, so here you are in the townhouse. You guys are doing the townhouse life. What? And I know that we got the RV together as a recreational thing, but what? Just one day you said, "Hey, let's be gypsies."
No, as my daughter says, hobos.
Hobos.
Yes, no, gypsies is what your grandfather called it when we talked about wanting to live in an RV full time.
And then we are now hoboing, fifth wheeling. So I think one of the things were that I want to retire soon, and that might be a way to get out of the debt, because these are so much less money overall to live in. And so that was the thought. And then we did the Class C, and we made the best of it. We gave, how did he say it? The Gipper? We just did the best we could, and it was great. And then all of a sudden this
really
showed up.
tight.
Like they downsized so much that now that they have a fifth wheel, it's like they over downsized, which isn't not true. I mean, still you have what you need now. But yeah, that's
Good point, yeah.
It was toit. It was very toit in there.
But didn't you say, like, you were, I don't know, you like put on a shirt and like punch the ceiling and things like that?
All
like,
the time. I mean, I couldn't even like flip the towel over my head because I'd hit the ceiling every time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Or you walking into the bathroom.
Yeah, I have to keep the door open because my knees wouldn't.
And nobody wants him to leave
fit.
the door open when he's
Your
doing
knees
that.
didn't fit. What do you do? Sit like butterfly?
I have to open the door
Go
so
to the
my knees can
They had to install stirrups in there. So you
couldn't
got,
fit in there.
It was a slender bathroom. You know, so
And I'm
now,
not 400 pounds.
And now, at least 1.5 people can fit in these bathrooms
Yeah,
at
it's
the
great.
same time. Yeah. So, except
Should still only be one in there.
I was thinking the same. I was like, do you really want that many people in there? Like, I'm glad we can all be in here while I'm doing
I'm gonna
this.
brush my teeth while you poop.
Hey, that right there, that's love.
It's only one
Actually-
year in. They haven't made it there.
Oh,
Actually, I was in there this morning and Nancy came in showing me a video. I'm like, come on, open the door. It's okay. She came right in.
and then he went,
I'm sitting
and she went
down.
right
and-
back
with
out.
my head turned to the side. Look at the video.
Yeah,
But-
it's still small, but it's so doable
no,
right
it's
now.
extremely comfortable.
But the Class
my
C on
gosh,
the
yeah.
outside has its precarious, is that the word? Scary moments. Don't put water on the plants and try to stand up under the
Oh,
the fifth
my
wheel.
the
yes,
fifth
the
wheel
has its-
because
She almost got a
oh
concussion.
man. Clunk.
it's still low overhead in places. You have to pretend like you're on a boat sometimes.
Yeah, so everything now comes with
It's not a boat, it's a land yacht.
A
And that's
land
true.
yacht. Yeah, we call it Taji.
I wish people can see it, you know.
Well, we can
Beautiful.
take some pictures.
Yeah, we
and
can
post
throw
it
up a
when
couple
we-
of
Nice.
couple of
when we
photos
air
and
this
let people see.
episode.
Yeah, so, how long did you live in that Class C? How many weeks
That
was
was
that?
for 3.5 weeks, and then Mom forced us to go and look at this beautiful RV, and we did, and so we've been in it for 2 weeks now. So we're going on 5 weeks. Yeah.
And of course, we show up with like, oh, we got this cool. Hey, guess what? We got an RV, and they're like, hey, guess what? We got an RV.
an
I was
RVer.
like, way to go, rain on our parade. Like, hey, we got a matchbox. And
Got
I'm
a bunch
hey,
of
guess what?
one-uppers over here.
We've got this giant...
We've got a bonfire.
Well, you guys
Exactly.
said we did a thing, and I was trying not to do the thing on the
Till
same
we got
day.
The first
until we
thing and the
got it.
second thing.
So
No, but your
we did it.
RV is so cute, man.
I think it
That's what
fits in
people
your
say.
back
That's
room.
that's what you
It
say.
is
Little.
though.
It's so cute. Your house is so cute.
You got everything you
You
need.
mean tiny?
Cozy.
So cozy.
But we don't live in it. It is tiny, but we don't live in it.
I will say, going back to that, I don't know if I mentioned it on the previous episode, but it hasn't aired yet.
Oh, that's true.
It hasn't aired yet,
moment
but
of
I said this.
claustrophobia.
I said I did have just this one little moment of claustrophobia. So the air conditioning, that definitely does have low overhead, and the air conditioning's going, and we've got the music going. So we're kind of having a good time there. And I think I was like over the sink or something, and Desmond he's being
Bouncing off
a
of the
kid.
wall.
He just
There's one wall to bounce
And-
off of.
He's a
at,
6-year-old.
at that moment with the air conditioning, the music, and Desmond's I had that weird like claustrophobic feeling like this place is too small, I gotta go outside.
It's a good thing it's not winter and we're not like up in Wisconsin.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I
I
would.
gotta go outside. Nope, gonna die. Gotta go back in.
No, you gotta go outside. I'm staying in.
Go make
You
some
can always
meatballs.
run into the shower and sit there.
You can.
That is a big bathroom, so if I feel
Yeah.
claustrophobic, I can go in the
Yeah,
big
definitely.
bathroom.
Basically, almost the same size as ours, to be honest.
I mean,
with you.
it's honestly
It's bigger.
percentage-wise, it's got to be a good.
What, a quarter of the.
I was gonna say about 30%
I
of
was
the
going to
entire
say at 30,
of the
40%.
entire thing is the bathroom. So I mean, you can't beat that.
Oh, that's great. If you had colitis, that's a big thing.
Well, now 2 bathrooms. I think that was what sealed the deal for you on
Oh,
this
yeah,
one. So
definitely.
this thing could have been twice as nice, but only had one bathroom. You'd be like, nah, it doesn't have that thing. I don't know whether that je ne sais quoi, also known as bathroom.
Exactly. We met someone at Long Point and beautiful RV. It had 5 slides and I was like, so you only have one bathroom? Oh,
It was a nice tall bathroom.
it was, but it was just
Oh yeah,
one bathroom.
that is a gorgeous that one. It's a
Beautiful.
gorgeous one, but yeah, only one bathroom doesn't work for you guys.
No, not at all.
This is perfect for us.
Until it starts raining, and then
Well, any
and
RV. is like
windy.
Oh yeah. Yesterday was it last night?
Last
The
night.
really windy, rainy night.
Tropical
Yep.
Sally or whatever her name was
Was it a
coming
tropical
through.
something? I didn't even know. What
I feel like we're not. It's not even close to Sally. I really
No,
feel
it
like
is.
it's not.
It really is.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no clue. But what happened?
So what had happened was that
No, say it right.
what happened was that at 2 a.m, I thought my dog was running up and down the stair because we have 2 steps up to the bedroom, and I thought she was running. And I got up and I'm thinking, what is she doing? No, that's not her. Oh my gosh, I hear something walking in our RV. And so I put my head to the floor.
I wish you guys could have a picture.
Well,
Oh my gosh.
we're thinking it's a raccoon under the floor.
Under the slide. And he mentions that yesterday he saw a little hole underneath the slide and it was bulging open. And of course, we're thinking, OMG, it's a rat. No, it's probably a human and he's not talking.
That's how loud it
and
was.
he's sneaking through the underbelly of your RV.
And we're looking through every pipe to
Not
make
coming
sure
through the door.
there's not
Yeah.
holes
He's not
anywhere.
biting his way through.
Oh my gosh.
It sounded like he was biting
Was he
his
like the
way
mole
through
people?
Oh my gosh.
behind the refrigerator.
Joe
So
was
I
crazy.
found that he was
I wish it was
behind
windy
the
right now.
refrigerator. And we thought, well, we checked everything. They can't get in. We'll deal with it tomorrow. I said, nope.
Yeah.
I am not going to sleep.
So
So,
by-
I sat in
by-
the living room for half an hour.
3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, we figured it out.
Oh my
it was
gosh.
He opens the door.
the canopy, and it was windy, and the mechanism that attaches to the RV
Like the little
was
hydraulic
banging,
thing?
and
Oh.
it lines up right
Oh
here,
my goodness.
and,
and it sounds like somebody was
eating.
just like that.
Yeah, that'll sound real good on the microphone. It sounds like it. So nothing like what you guys just heard on the microphone.
It sounded like they were eating. They were trying to get out through the back wall of the refrigerator. So he went out there to try to.
Into the refrigerator and escaped out through the refrigerator.
No. A mole man.
Mole man.
A mole man snuck in here, jumped inside of the refrigerator silently.
Decided not
And
to
then,
do this.
it didn't come out.
inside.
No. Then he snuck inside, somehow opened the door, all that stuff. Snuck into the fridge, closed the door gently behind him, and then ate his way through the back of the refrigerator. Woo!
Anything was going through our mind.
Well, I thought, in the RV walls outside behind the refrigerator, there are vents. It's a door and it has vents, and I thought it had eaten its way through the vent, and it was now forgotten its way back out,
Oh, mole
and he
man.
was chewing through it. I should have
wonder if you
taken
could,
an
like,
audio.
Tape a pillow to the outside wall as like a cushion of some sort in the future.
Oh, so Mole Man can take a nap after he
Yes.
chews his way through. Got it. We get it now.
Well, we figured it out. It wasn't an animal, so it was Mother Nature's wind.
It was your imagination, just
my
like
God.
going crazy.
I'm sure the noises are different though.
Yes.
Oh my god!
And it was 4:30, and we finally passed out. Because as the wind
And
blew,
woke up at 7.
it kept shaking the RV, and this was only 18-mile-an-hour winds.
No, it was gusts to 30.
Okay, good.
So you won't be hanging around if there's a hurricane.
No, it's insured.
So 30 miles an hour, we'll say, is on par with, I don't know, a mole man crawling through. So like those are mole man crawling through the fridge speed.
I'd rather deal with 30-mile-an-hour winds than the mole man.
It was
Man, if I could draw, this would honestly be something really fun
would be
to
a
create.
funny
Mole man like
With no eyes.
working his way
and
through the
I
pickles
was
and whatnot in the fridge.
on the floor and doing downward dogs, getting back up and moving over
And I'm
and
doing the same
listening.
thing up there.
Two crazy old
Oh
people.
my god.
It's really sad that you didn't have.
Apparently we need to get a webcam installed in here now. I
Yes.
mean, that's some
If
entertainment.
if a random teddy bear just happens to show up and sit on that shelf, just leave it alone.
His eye is not a camera. Nanny cam.
Nanny cam.
Nannycam.com. I have no idea. I'm just gonna do it.
It was a rough night, to say the least.
Yeah.
Well, let's end this night in a non-rough manner. I don't know. So
No more man.
no, yeah, exactly. No, this is gonna be Mole Man free, but for your special anniversary episode, which I gotta find a good name, a clever name for this one, but we'll figure it out. I'm gonna do the old.
Excuse me.
Well, that one sounded fresh.
Yeah, that was a fresh one. Poddex. Poddex.com.
What's the funniest name you can think of for a pet?
Juice.
Seriously.
That's our pet name, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
It's
A
Juice.
flat-faced dog named Juice. I mean, I would say he resembles a puddle of gravy more than he does juice. I mean, like if his name was like Gravy
He
or
is a shag rug.
Oobleck.
Blob.
Yeah.
That's what Desmond calls him, Blobby.
He reminds me of
He's
the
gonna miss his Blobby.
Grinch. With that little button nose. You know, he looks like the Grinch.
I don't know. I like our dogs' names. I think they're funny.
They were great names. Our dogs. I thought they were funny. So Toby was Toblerone, Nougat, Yarborough, and then Mellow, he is Caramello, Fluffernutter, Yarborough. And if you don't know what a Fluffernutter is, that is a peanut butter and marshmallow cream.
That was my
Sandwich.
favorite sandwich
Ew.
growing up.
But because of
loved
his
it.
colors, the white and the like.
Because if you look at his color, Mellow's coloring is peanut butter and marshmallow cream.
Do you remember Onyx's full name?
Princess Onyx de Oreo?
Imperial
Imperial.
de Oreo
Imperial de Oreo.
Vargas.
Imperial butter.
That sounds like a racehorse. They have very.
That's not butter. That is spread. That's vegetable spread. Imperial is not butter.
I can't believe it's no
Yeah.
butter.
And you have to
I
name them
can
because,
believe it.
she was a pure breed pug. So you have to name
Well, yeah,
them.
yeah. That was the thing. Like you're supposed to give them. They want them to have a first because our dogs, they said the same thing, like first, middle, and last name, so they can somehow look through the
Trace
lineage and blah blah blasey blasey.
Yeah, we came up with really good names, and then we never bothered registering them because I don't even know if they were.
Well, I mean, even if
Yeah.
we thought about breeding them or anything, they attacked Onyx de Oreo.
Imperial.
So they lost
Prince.
the testicles, and so they would leave her alone.
Yeah, at the same time, poor dog. And she's like, meow, 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 you know?
You have any crazy pet names growing up there, Daryl?
Crazy? No.
What was your pet growing up?
Bonnie.
I was gonna say Bob.
Bab.
Bonnie.
Bonnie. What was Bonnie?
She was a Scottish Terrier.
Oh, I always thought
Nice.
Scotties were kind of cool.
I was envisioning being boys though.
She was
Do you think
actually
they-
Because they
mixed
have
with his
beards.
Do you think they
Cocker
bark with
Spaniel.
accents?
Are they bearded ladies?
They speak their own languages.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
They have the accents.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Bark.
Bark, bark.
What would a chihuahua do?
Bark, bark,
Eat tacos.
bark, man. I don't know.
Jota Pincho? I don't know.
I do not know. This is off the track. Okay, so we've got Onyx, De Oreo, A la Madre, A la Mode, I don't know. Whatever.
Modes.
And there you go. So let us know what your dog's crazy names are, or cats, or
Just a fun one that you.
or ferrets.
What? What? I
Or-
wouldn't even say
or
funny,
your
but what was
significant other.
Desmond's fish?
Oh, Desmond's Fish. Yeah, I guess that would be
The one that-
a funny name.
Only was
Yeah,
alive for a little while.
he didn't.
Approximately 3 months.
I think he drowned.
A fish that drowns. Okay.
So I thought because the name ended up being Foofy Clarence. Now saying that, Desmond just wanted to call it Foofy. I don't know why Foofy was the name of a betta fish. I don't know. But to me, because they're very colorful fish, but like a fish, I don't really think of like having personality. Like they're kind of bland. So even though it was like very beautiful, to me personality wise, I thought Clarence was kind of like a bland name. Like a Leonard or something like that. So that's why I was like, I wanted to call it Clarence. I just thought that it would just be a ridiculous, bland name for
He decided
for
to
a
jump
fish.
ship.
So Desmond wanted to keep Clarence, but he wanted to incorporate Foofy.
Foofy.
So Foofy Clarence was the name of our fish, who did not hang around very long. But Talia's still lives, and his name is Donald Duck. So there you go. The betta fish named Donald Duck.
Wow.
All right, guys.
Funny.
Until next time, be safe.
Don't be gross.
Be well.
Good night, everybody.
Wash your hands.
Bye.
This has been a Getting to Know Brews presentation. Music provided by purpleplanet.com. That's purple-planet.com.